Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full coverage makeup look. Today, you know, my hair looks a mess, I'm in camo, and I'm really just feeling that full coverage makeup look that's kind of gonna hide my face and make me feel put together. So today I'm using a full coverage foundation, a full coverage concealer, and a full coverage lip product to achieve this look right here. And if you want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. So I have my eye makeup done already because it's kind of just my basic everyday winged liner. So I'm going to go straight in with primer, and this is the 100% Pure Mattifying Primer. So I'm just going to put that a little bit on my T-zone to help my makeup stay in place and stay a little bit more matte. Okay, and then I'm going to go straight in with my foundation with a damp beauty blender, and for this I'm going to be using my Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation, and I'm using this because it is super high coverage. And the vibe I'm going for today is my hair looks horrible, but I want to have like full coverage makeup on, so I don't know why that's usually the vibe, but it is because I just care about makeup more than hair. So I'm just going to stripe this on all over my face and then blend it in with my beauty blender, and then if I need more, I'll go back in with more and add in another layer. And this foundation is a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, so it's super high coverage. I just discovered this and I did a full foundation review on this video to see how it would last, because it's supposed to be, I think, a 24-hour foundation, and I was really impressed with it, and I really like it. It dries down pretty matte, and when you're blending it in, it seems like it's not going to like blend in very easily because it's so high coverage and kind of not super creamy and dewy, but it does blend in really nice. And that's just one layer of the foundation with that amount that I first initially striped on, and I think this is good enough coverage. This is super full coverage, just a little bit goes a long way, but I kind of am going for the full coverage look, especially since I have some really dark blemishes right now, and I'm just wanting to go for that super high coverage look today. So I think that's enough for the foundation, and then I'm going to go in with a different concealer than my usual today, and that is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And this is like the super hyped up, you know, everyone on Instagram is using it or whatever. I think the color I have is just a little bit too light for me, but it is super high coverage, which is like really impressive, the amount of coverage this has. So I'm just going to take it down the middle of my face just because since it is so light and high coverage, I think I'm going to need it kind of all over to even out the color, because as you can see, it is very light. And if you wanted to be even more extra and kind of really highlight the face, I would add another stripe here under on your jaw, kind of under your cheekbone, because that will kind of really help emphasize your contour, but I don't want to get too carried away today. I think what I have so far is okay. And then usually I use my finger to blend in concealer, but with this one, it's just so heavy duty that you have to use the damp beauty blender because it just kind of, it needs it to be able to blend this out because it's so full coverage. And as you can see, I'm just kind of blending it into that dark inner corner and then up and out along the cheekbone. And this is going to help like highlight your cheekbone and lift it. This is the concealer mostly blended out. As you can see, it's very brightening because it is so light and it is really very full coverage. So that's why having it down the center of the face kind of helps balance out the look, because if you just had super bright under eyes, it would kind of look out of place with the rest of your makeup. And now I'm going to attempt to set this concealer with my go-to Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to tap some into the lid and take that same corner of the beauty blender that I was using to blend it out to pick up the powder and then press it on to set it. Now that concealer's set, I'm going to set the rest of the face, and to add a little bit more coverage today, I'm going to use my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural Powder in the shade Light Plus, and this really just gives an extra hint of coverage, but without making you look too cakey. Because it is a mineral powder, it has that slight sheen to it, which is really nice. And I'm going to use this on my Dense It Cosmetics Kabuki brush just to make sure I apply it and make it a little bit more full coverage. So I'm just pressing this into the skin, not swirling it around too much because I really kind of want to pack on the coverage today. I'm going for that full coverage effect. With the powder on, this really is a full coverage base, and you can see how bright the under eyes look. So to kind of counteract that super brightness, I'm going to go in with bronzer, and today I'm going to be going with a bunch of Becca products, and I'm going to use my Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. And I'm going to take this on my Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush and kind of tap off any excess, and then just take this in on the cheekbones and build it up to a really nice warm bronze. And my bronzer is applied. I have enough, I think, for today, so I'm going to go in with highlighter, and I'm going to continue with a different Becca product, and this is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed in Moonstone. And this is really a very like pigmented highlighter. So I'm going to take my Anastasia highlighter brush here and just take a little bit of this and lightly do this on the tops of my cheekbones. Like I said, this is really pigmented. You can kind of already see it, but I also like this because it's really a light white color. So it's going to work really well with that super light under eye concealer that we used to kind of tie it together and continue on with the trend of this like full coverage lightness. So I'm just going to pack a little bit onto the end of my nose and my Cupid's bow as well. And then just go in with a second layer on the cheekbones to really amp it up. As you can see, this highlighter is absolutely gorgeous. It's super bright, super pigmented, and really a little goes a long way, but just pack on a bunch, it's fine. So now I'm going to go in with blush, and I'm going to go back to an old favorite, which is the Milani blush in Luminoso, which is like a cult favorite. Everyone talks about this. It's super cheap from the drugstore, and it really is just a beautiful blush. And this is really, it just warms up the cheekbones, is super shimmery, and gives you like a nice glow. And now that the cheeks are done, I'm going to finish off with the brows. And this is my Clinique Superfine liner for brows in the shade 2 Soft Brown. This is my go-to brow product at the moment. I just love it. It's pretty dark for me, so I don't have to go in and work on my brows for too long. It kind of fills them in quickly. But really naturally because it is a fine tip, but because it is so dark, I don't have to go over it a million times. Now that the brows are filled in, I'm going to go in with my Glossier Boy Brow in brown just to set them and add a little bit more color. I'm really liking this product actually. And to keep the look a little cohesive, I'm going to go back in with the Becca Moonstone highlight and a small little eyeshadow brush and highlight the inner corners. Just to brighten up the eyes. Inner corner highlight is my favorite. I love it. And I'm just going to add a little tiny bit under the brow bones as well, barely touching down and then kind of blending it in. And the finishing touch on the eyes is going to be a little bottom lash mascara, and of course I'm going to use my Clinique bottom lash mascara, but you can just use whatever mascara you're comfortable with or whichever one you used on your top lashes. Finally, to finish off the whole look and continue on the full coverage train, I'm going to do the lips. So I'm going to go in with this Milani Color Statement Lip Liner True Instant Color in the shade 03, which I think is Nude, yeah. So I'm just going to line the lips first. And this is kind of a deep nude for someone as fair as me, but I'm going to go on top with the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in the shade Caramello. And this is like a beautiful, like deep nude. I think if you're tan, it'll be like a kind of nudie nude. But on me, it's like a deep nude. I really love this lip color, and this liquid lipstick formula is actually one of my favorites. I think it stays on the longest. It does dry out your lips, of course, like all liquid lipsticks do, and it doesn't actually last like all day, but it does have really good staying power, and I really like the color, and it also is very opaque, and I find that this one doesn't give me that horrible line on the inside of my lips like a lot of liquid lipsticks do. It's actually like one of the best formulas that doesn't look too disgusting after a few hours or after you drink something. And that's it for this full coverage makeup look. I really like how this came out. I'm really enjoying using a full coverage foundation and concealer at the minute. I think it's because we're transitioning into winter, so kind of using that full coverage stuff doesn't feel as heavy on the skin because it's colder. Like in the warmer months when you're sweating, you don't want something so heavy. But I'm really enjoying it, and also liquid lipsticks I think are gonna come back in because it's again winter and sweater season, and you want to have that nice matte look to your lips in the colder months. But anyway, this is the full coverage makeup look for today. As always, all the products I used are listed down below, and I'm also uploading 3 times a week at the minute, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, so make sure you subscribe below so that you don't miss my next video, and thank you so much for watching.